Hello everyone and welcome back to The Generehlist. I'm not going to say 105 topics because that's not what this is. This is the Low Risk Obstetrics podcast, which we are psyched to introduce you to. You might be equally psyched because you don't have to hear my voice every time. We have these amazing people just waiting to give you obstetrics knowledge.
Thank you so much, Caleb. We are super excited to be part of your team here. So I'll introduce us all quickly. My name's Kyla. I'm a family medicine resident, and I am joined by Patty and Caitlin, and I'll let them each introduce themselves as well.
I'm Patty. I'm an R1 in the Red Deer Rural Family Medicine program, and I'm super stoked to be here talking to you about low-risk obstetrics.
And I'm Caitlin. I'm a fourth year at the UBC Northern Medical Program. Super excited to be here as well.
NMP represent!
Some northern love there from Caleb. That's great. All right. So we'll just give you a little bit of an idea of what we're going to be talking about in our upcoming episodes. And our overall goal for this podcast is just to present family medicine perspectives on obstetrical care, which also includes care of the newborn because we care about this little one once it exits the uterus. So we'll kind of get started and tell you a little bit about ourselves, why we love OB, and what we are hoping you will get out of listening to us chat away to you. So like I said, I'm a family medicine resident. I'm part of the program in Lethbridge, and I just love OB. I've always loved OB. Everyone knows that if I start talking about OB, you're committed to listening to me for a solid 5 to 10 minutes before I acknowledge that I've gone off on OB, and I will calm down and let you speak again. So this is an opportunity for me to do that. So I'm looking forward to it. I can't think of anything else in medicine that makes me as happy as being part of the OB teams. So super excited to be delving a little bit more into OB topics and sharing them with you. And like I said, we're hoping that this is going to be focusing on a family medicine perspective. So I want to talk about key topics in obstetrics and newborn care, delving in a little bit deeper, but always trying to come back to that idea of what am I going to manage as a family doctor. And I'm a rural resident, so we're also going to hopefully draw in a few perspectives of what am I going to do as a family doctor who doesn't have an OB in-house. And I'm going to pass it over to Patty to share a little bit about herself and her perspectives on what she's hoping to give you through this podcast.
Hi, I'm Patty. So I'm a rural resident from Red Deer. I grew up in Ottawa and moved out to the west shortly afterwards, and I'm now part of the East infection. I have come and I don't appear to be leaving. I did my med school at UBC and I'm happy to be in Alberta. OB was a bit of a later thing for me. It's one of those things I didn't know I was going to be into starting med school. Didn't know if I was going to love watching babies be born, but I love watching babies be born. I think low risk obstetrics is the most fun risk obstetrics. It's really awesome to get to see people all the way through their prenatal care to deliver their babies and then continue to care for them and their children afterwards. I think that's a really special part of someone's life that you can do as a family doctor. And so I'm a big fan. My goal with this podcast is when I've been out there in the world trying to learn about low risk obstetrics, I haven't found a lot of great resources that tell me what I should be doing as a family doctor versus what I should be letting the specialists manage. So my hope is to kind of help you guys there. And I'm a real fan of keeping things simple and keeping things organized. So I hope that we can bring some organization to what's sometimes a little bit of a, gray area of medicine so that you have kind of clear guidelines to help your practice.
That is a huge added value. Patty's always reining me in and getting me back down to the basics.
Kyla will bring the enthusiasm. I will help her keep it simple.
Beautiful. Everyone has a great role to play. And speaking of everyone, I'm going to let Caitlin also introduce herself and tell us a little bit about how she came on our team and what she's hoping to share with you out there as you listen.
Thanks, Kyla. I heard about the podcast originally because I started listening to the Generelists after everyone was talking about it at Rural and Remote 2021. Really loved the recent episode on chronic disease management. Everyone should go and have a listen to that. Great episode. Well, like I said, I'm a fourth year, almost a fourth year, very close to being a fourth year in the UBC NMP. So I've been up in Prince George for the last 2 years. I am just finishing up the integrated clerkship in the Cowichan Valley on Vancouver Island. And I just came off 4 days of a low risk OB call with obstetrics backup. So a little bit less rural, but it was a beautiful 4 days. We had lots going on. I spent some time working in midwifery care and doing research in rural obstetrics long before I came to medicine, and that kind of lit the fire. And especially thinking about keeping obstetrics in smaller communities and in rural communities, I think family doctors have a huge role to play in helping people birth in their homes and keeping equitable access to healthcare in the smaller parts of Canada. I love OB personally because, just like Patty said, I think it's an amazing event to get to share with a person and a family. I think it's a really beautiful part of family medicine because it brings together the medicine that we're interested in. It brings together small procedures. It brings together the lifespan of a gestational person and the tiny person that they bring into the world. It's an exciting day. It can be a stressful day. It brings together a really beautiful interdisciplinary team. Just a lot of things that I love about family med. And what I'm really hoping people will get out of the podcast is I'm hoping some med students will listen and that it will help fuel their fire when they're thinking about family medicine as their number one choice, not as a backup choice, and will help lure people into the beautiful world that is family medicine.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Caitlin. Both you and Patty were so eloquent in your introductions and offered so much. And I think, we all have a little bit of a rural focus and a keen interest on how can we be providing women and their families with the most care for their maternity needs in all kinds of settings. So that's going to be our goal for the next little while. Our plan at the moment is to try and bring you a new podcast every month. We're going to be starting out with one of the biggest emergencies that you can come across in obstetrics, which is the postpartum hemorrhage. So please be on the lookout for that in the upcoming months, hopefully coming out early this summer. And we will take it away from there.
And you don't have to go anywhere special. You go to the Generehlist website. There'll be an awesome little tab there, the CCFP exam topics podcast. It'll show up in your podcast stream wherever you're subscribed to us. So stay subscribed. And for the time being, shoot us messages to hello@thegenerehlist.ca. Find us on Twitter, also on Instagram, but we're not there very often. Nonetheless, we will see your messages if you leave them there. And otherwise, I'm super excited to have you guys along.
Thank you so much, Caleb, for having us and including a new branch of the Low Risk Obstetrics onto your team. You all do such a fabulous job with the Generehlist, and we're just really honored to be associated with what you've already got established. And we really look forward to making this a reality over the next couple months. And thanks to all of those who've taken the time to listen today and get to know us. We look forward to being with you again very soon as we delve right into postpartum hemorrhage. Take care. Have a wonderful day.